Welcome guys to the complete Skyblock history. Now today I'm going to be going over everything that's happened since Skyblock's release on June 11th of 2019. So Skyblock started off as a prototype game just in the Hypixel lobby, and it has progressed so much from there, and I'm going to go through every single update or major update. And so at the start of the game it was just quite a test game. People would come for traditional Skyblock, then realise, oh, they've got something really good here. It's a very interesting game mode. And but at that time you only had like hardened diamond armor. That was the best armor, I'm pretty sure. And then you had the Ember Rod, which was an insanely good weapon because nobody had killed the magma boss yet, which was quite a cool thing. The next update would be the End. Now this would completely change the entire meta of Skyblock. It added 4 or 5 new sets of armor, one new weapon, the aspect of the dragons, and also eventually the Ender Dragon pet. Oh, that wasn't in this update, but it was still an amazing update. It's probably one of the best updates to this day because it made a skillful way for people to get gear, and it required a lot of skill for people. They started perfecting killing dragons by teleporting to them and hitting them with their swords, doing thousands and millions of damage to them in very short amounts of time. In between the updates, I'm going to be showing you some cool videos from the community. Now, the first one is going to be Technoblade, the Hypixel Skyblock experience.
Take on the Skyblock genre. So basically you spawn on your own island, you cut down a tree, you bridge over to the other island, and then you log into Windcraft. In a nutshell, Hypixel Skyblock is exactly like regular Skyblock, the only minor difference being that instead of carefully using your minimal items, you immediately get access to a separate multiplayer world with an infinite amount of every conceivable resource, and then you spend all your time in that world instead of the sky.
But basically this video, it's one of the most viewed videos on his channel, other than like proof I don't auto-click, I think, and it's a pretty good video. It highlights Skyblock in a pretty good sense, and it is very early on in the history of Skyblock. So I'm going to go through lots of videos that correspond to different points in time. So this one was actually released before the End update, I think, but it's pretty relevant to the time. The next update was Slayers. Now this redefined the definition of boredom. Now it created hundreds of hours of you just killing random mobs, and you ended up with some decent gear actually. They added a decent amount of stuff, so you got like 5 tiers to each thing, and they each had a minion. Actually Sven doesn't have a minion, but they're really good minions, so I'd highly recommend doing some Slayers, but they are very, very boring. Honestly, it takes either a very large amount of money or a very large amount of time to do Slayers, and that's not always a good thing. The next update was the Spooky Festival and then the Jerry event. So the Spooky Festival was basically a new event, brand new. It's been added, nothing's been seen like this before. It's a very new style of gameplay. It adds candies which can be used in these shops, and it also adds a ton of cool items that people can collect and get. It also sparks quite a lot of competition between the high level players, like people trying to get the most candy in events and get number 1. I think it was for the skeleton horse pet, so that was a very cool thing. And then with the Jerry Island, that was a month later or so, during the Christmas time. You have a lot of cool stuff there. You have another event which is more of a story event. It's a beat the boss kind of thing, and then you have also prospect for updates, which is always good. There's like a cave in there that could be updated at some point. It's been there for like a year, but they might do it this Christmas, which would be cool. So yeah, those are pretty good updates, and let's go into the next one. The next update to come was the Pets update. Now the Pets update, there was 2 of them. There was Pets v1 and Pets v2. Now Pets v2 is a lot later on actually, is after a couple more updates, but I'm going to talk about it now because might as well talk about them both together. So in Pets v1 you had a basic pet system with you can get pets through, I don't think you could craft them just yet, but you could get some pets through a Ringo. I think he became a thing at that point. They were doing quite a lot of events at that point, which is very cool for Skyblock. So they were they had like 3 new events in the space of 3 months or something, which is very cool. But yeah, with pets it gave people awesome stats boosts, and during this update they actually added you could put coins in /trade. Now this is very useful for people because before you had to use the auction house and just bid on people's items, which wasn't always the best because you could get false banned for trading coins or something like that. So yeah, Pets update, very good update. and that's Pets v1 and Pets v2. So in Pets v2 they added the crafting pets and like pet luck and stuff, so you could like craft these pets and get random varieties of epic or legendary and whatever. So yeah, that was the pets update. Now we're going to move on to the Bazaar and the Dark Auction. Now these happened at similar times, it was like 3 days in between them, but they added so much content to Skyblock, and it's a very both good and bad things. I'll discuss the negatives and the positives, but with the Bazaar added like a stock market trading system. It made getting minion slots so much easier. If you haven't done that before, you I don't know, it's so difficult. It allows the end game players to sell items to the early game players for really cheap, so it ends up you don't actually have to do much of Skyblock yourself, and you can just buy stuff in the Bazaar. Now the Dark Auction is also a very great thing. I haven't actually been to one, I don't think. I need to get some coins together and do that at some point, but it introduced lots of new items such as the Midas, the flower minion, lots of stuff like that, which is very cool. Now, the Dark Auction led to someone called Timedeo making a very cool video. It was about a 50 million coin Midas. Now, what that would do is gain him huge amounts of damage. But let me just play this clip.
Been on this one first. Please go up. It's happening, boys. We're going up. 18 million. 32 million. 50 million. We did it. Let's go. Oh, that was so nervous. All of that. We have it. 50 million coins paid.
The next update was the Reforged update. Now, this would be the last update before Hypixel released Dungeons. Now, Dungeons, you know my mixed opinions on it by now if you've watched my channel before. But Reforged update, very good update. It makes the armor and tool reforges much better than, like, before accessory bag was the most important thing, but now having good reforges on your armor and weapon is a very important thing, and they give you more stats, which is just great. The next update was absolutely massive. It was Dungeons. Now, this had been in the works for like 8 months, and they finally finished it, and then literally nobody cared for the part. For like 2 months, literally nobody cared. They released more later floors, and I think they've been getting better and better as they go on, so I've been playing a decent amount of Dungeons, but it's a pretty fun game mode, but it's not what we wanted for Skyblock, really. We would much rather have had more islands. I think I've actually missed an update, but I'll come back to that one in a minute. So yeah, you've got Dungeons came out, Floor 1, Catacombs. It was pretty cool. First you had the Dungeons hub, then you had the actual Dungeons release, and it was very good. Well, it wasn't great at the start, but I've grown into it a bit more, and I really like Dungeons. So yeah, that was Dungeons. The update I missed was actually the park. Now, I'm surprised I missed it because it's one of my favourite updates, and it involved adding a brand new foraging island, because before there was just floating islands. Now, most people probably weren't around when that was a thing, because it was quite an early on update. I can't remember exactly when it was, but I missed it because this is on the wiki as something like a change log or something, so I didn't see it. But yeah, the park, very cool update, added like 3 new quests. You had the fire trial and the Juliet quest, as well as the race as well. That's really fun. Yeah, basically everyone who first joins Skyblock always tries to do the race, so it's a very good thing, and I thought it was a very good update. It added lots of new concepts, which hopefully they can carry over into the next island they add. I think the park was the last island they added, so yeah, that's what the example is at the moment. But yeah, that was the park. The next video I wanted to talk about is Technoblade, the Potato War. Now this is you can't not talk about this video. Now it's 3 videos in total, and I've done this one a bit later on in the cycle because it spans over like a year. So basically Technoblade sets out to beat I'm a Squid Kid in farming potatoes.
Technoblade, where have you been all this time? Well, you see, I've been farming potatoes in Skyblock. That wasn't a joke. And when a man visited my island and asked, why? Didn't you already win the potato war? But no, the potato wars never ended. To understand how things ended up like this, we've got to go back to November. When I dethroned Squid Kid and became the #1 potato farmer in Skyblock, I went to his island and laughed at him for half an hour. Then my co-op members showed up, and we all started laughing at him. It was not a good day for Squid Kid. In the war, there was nothing left to do except celebrate my victory with grace and humility.
Oh my gosh! He's doing a little emote on me. Oh my, not like this. Come on. Was this necessary?
Watch me dance, Squid Kid, you lose! You lose the war!
Overall, the Potato War was an amazing saga of events, and it ended up, that's basically almost modern day. Now, there's a couple more things. So just the election update, which added a bunch of new mayors, and also the rest of the floors of dungeons. Now, I made a video about why dungeons ended, so you can go watch that if you want more detail. But yeah, that has been the complete history of Skyblock. Now, I really hope you did enjoy. I worked really hard on this video, so if you could subscribe, please turn on notifications and like the video as well. But yeah, that's going to do it for today, and I hope you did enjoy, and goodbye.